Action! Hello from Luke-Shire Expediting Adventures. We're here at Expo, Expedite Expo 2022 in Fort Wayne, Indiana. We're here with Jerry of Expediter Boogie.
Hello, hello, hello.
And of course, you know that guy over there.
This guy. Yeah, this guy.
Anyways, we've been having a really great time in days 2. We're about halfway through day 2. Are y'all having a good time?
It's been a blast.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
So we've met some really great people. A lot of our teams are here that we mentor, and I think we just wanted to just maybe have a conversation or a frank conversation about mentoring. So that's where we're going with this.
That's where we're going
well,
with
that
this.
was our topic
There
for
you go.
now. So as we pulled Jerry in, so let's talk about mentoring.
Yep, I had to give him $100 to sit down and talk to us because, he's big time. Expedite
Well, you
Boogie
did
guy.
win big last night at the dinner.
I did win big last night at dinner, so I guess Expedite Online is paying for Jerry's appearance.
Right. Oh, there we go.
So-
Go for it.
Jerry, what are some of the challenges you have when you bring a new team on with helping them be successful?
I think the biggest challenge is just getting them used to the industry and what they should be doing. Maybe coming from a different job and always on the go path, and learning to actually pay attention to what's going on in expediting and go for the good runs versus the bad stuff.
Okay.
And getting used to it's okay if you sit a day or two and wait for those really, really good paying runs instead of just running for all the crap.
So getting people used to the idea of being patient and not just taking anything that's thrown their way.
Absolutely.
Because it doesn't necessarily fit a business
Yes.
program. Okay.
Do you think that's because we come from maybe a corporate world of some sort where we're yes people? I don't know how to put that. It's just kind of the way.
I would think so. I think you're right. The corporate world, you've always got someone over your shoulder saying, do this, work harder, go harder, longer hours. And then this industry, you're working for yourself. You make the rules and you follow what you want to do. And I think a lot of people have that mentality of they just have to go. When now, since you're working for yourself, you need to know when that good business decision is and when to take that good load and sort through all the bad stuff.
Because we are 1099, we're contractor, independent contractors, our own business owners, or LLC corporation. I guess you could go that way. But you're your own. You're making those business decisions, and I think we forget that sometimes. I know people. Well, what about taxes? How do those come out? Well, you pay for those because you're your business. So I do think it is. We forget that we can say no to loads because again. In a regular job, you're not saying no to people. Like, nope, not going to do that job today.
Well, we're not programmed in life to say no. I mean, we don't say no to our parents. We all know that look when you tell your mom no the first time. And exactly. We don't say no to our employers. So it's hard to get in that mindset of it's okay if I do say no.
Yeah.
And
Or be patient and wait.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You have another question for him?
I don't. I just drew a blank, complete blank.
That's your only one you have?
The beauty of live YouTube. I just drew a complete blank. What do you have for
always take
me?
questions from people.
Oh, do we have people watching?
We have people watching?
And make sure to remind them to like.
Oh, don't forget, please like.
Like.
Helps the algorithm.
Comment,
If you're not
subscribe,
subscribers,
Do you have
please
questions?
subscribe.
share the video.
Share the video with your friends. What questions do we have? Frank over here is moderating. So we've got Jerry from Expedite Boogie actually on camera, and we got Frank from the Trucking Couple producing for us. So we got lucky today.
We got our hashtag Highfield family now, so say
Awesome.
Oh,
Joe
there's a lot of
Blessick says
hashtag
hi.
Highfield family
Hey,
here
Joe.
at
Walt
Expo.
Costa saying hi. Camo Mojo
So-
Transportation. Raylene Marsh is saying hello. Trucking Mama saying hi.
Hello.
If you
not
guys
getting
have
those
any
on you, are we?
questions, Raylene, let's see. So, Raylene says, it's really hard to go from tractor trailer, learn dispatch, to learning to wait for those good loads.
I think tractor trailer teams are the hardest.
FAK tractor trailer teams, not Expedite tractor trailer. General Freight tractor trailer
Yes.
teams where they're used to running nonstop.
Yes.
They're dropping and hooking, they just keep moving.
Yep. They're the hardest to convince that it's okay to sit and wait.
Sure.
They get antsy. And then you may make a bad decision because maybe you don't reach out to your mentor and get advice because you're just like, oh, I got to load, I got to go now. So,
Use those mentors.
Yeah.
We are available 24/7.
yeah.
We are
Hey,
there
does that
for
mean
a
at 1
reason.
o'clock in the morning?
Absolutely.
Really?
I tell everybody 3 a.m. or 3 p.m. It doesn't matter. My
Doesn't
phone
matter.
is on.
What if I wanted to call you about a recipe? Can I call you for that? Should I wait?
I would prefer you to call me during normal business hours on a recipe. But if it is something that you absolutely have to have at 3 a.m., hey, I'm going to help you.
Yeah.
So business related is what you want to call late in
Yes.
the middle of the night. Yeah, yeah. Well, you don't want to miss out on, as Vince would say, don't leave money on the table. So be sure you're calling your mentors at the 1 o'clock in the morning. To get the advice you need, the guidance, the mentoring. So
Michael Dalzell says, how is the California rule going to affect y'all?
That's a good question, and I don't think any of us have the answer to that question yet. The California ruling on AB 5, which makes it illegal to hire independent contractors as truck drivers, and I might have that wrong, and I don't have the details, but we don't know yet how that's going to affect us. I think the trucking company did a video on that a couple weeks ago when it first
just move to
came
South
out.
Dakota.
That might be a better video right now, but as we get more information, we'll certainly share that information. But right now, I just don't know.
I would agree with that. I'm not very versed on the subject, so.
Yeah.
How about the new rules for getting your CDL license? Can I just willy-nilly self-study, rent a truck, and obtain my CDL?
Not
I-
anymore.
I'm sorry, Jerry.
No, go ahead.
I was really surprised yesterday in our Ask the Experts panel
Yes.
where there were people that didn't know that was a thing, that rule could come into effect.
Yeah.
And it was a national rule where you can't just self-study and take the test and move on,
Right.
that you have to have so many hours of training from a certified school in order to sit for your CDL.
Expedite chicks who are part of Highfield Trucking, they do have their own YouTube channels and social medias. I know they just did a video within the last few weeks about the new laws, and in their comment section they have a lot of resources for you if you want to find out information for your particular state. But for myself, I know I did a truck school. This was 3 years ago. Team Bender, who was on the Ask the Experts panel yesterday morning here at the workshop at Expo, they self-studied.
Yeah.
They used a truck that the DMV provided, and they got it. Again, that was 3 years ago, and those aren't things that you can do now. You do have to go. Is it an accredited school that you have to go to?
Yes.
Now to get, and you also want to make sure you're getting those endorsements, your hazmat and tanker at the same time as the CDL. I heard you say that you'd have to do a separate class if you didn't get them at the same time.
If you don't get your hazmat endorsement when you get your CDL, you have to go back and still get a certain number of hours of classroom training or online training from a certified school before you can take your hazmat endorsement test. So if you want to add endorsements down the road, if you wanted to add air brakes, you can't just take the air brake certification test. You have to go and take a class and then get those hours for that air brake certification. On
Which
your
could
own
really hold
license.
you up in the onboarding process, I think, if you didn't have it all.
Sure.
So,
Certainly.
do your research.
Yep. Keep doing your homework.
Keep doing your research on those new laws.
Yep. Any other questions for us, Frank?
No, not questions right now. I think
Have your
one thing.
attention.
Hold on a second.
If someone has lost a
Hold a moment.
single key on a carabiner clip, I have it at booth 320. That's the Expeditors online booth. Again, a single key on a carabiner clip at booth 320.
All right. So if you lost a single key on a carabiner clip, they got it in booth 320 for you.
I think one of the other things that I wanted to bring up that I found out about talking here at the show to people about the training was there are scammers out there that have set up schools and are taking money, and people are losing money in deposits
Oh, my
and
goodness.
things like that. And you're thinking you're going to get a CDL. So to your what you always say,
Yeah.
do your research, go through schools that have really good ratings on Google reviews, because we don't want a new team coming out here to learn. If that's the first taste of the industry is getting scammed by a trucking
Right,
school,
right.
I mean, it's like could turn you south. It could stop you before you even get started.
Sure.
So it's really important.
So as Frank was saying, I'm not sure if are you picking
It
up
is,
on?
yeah.
Oh, fantastic. I don't know which microphone we're using.
The big one.
Half
Just
the time, I
talk.
don't know which camera we're using.
I think the same thing goes with that. Not only looking into the trucking school, but looking into the correct fleet owner you want to drive for. Like, there are some fleet owners out there that are not up and up and don't necessarily, don't do what they are supposed to do. And so do your research. Find a good fit and there's so many people out there that you can talk to and get references. Don't be ashamed to ask a fleet owner, do you have references? Can I call drivers? And not just a list they put together. Can I call some driver you may have met earlier or something like that? Like, don't just take their word for it. Do your research.
Yeah.
And
Ask
I've
questions.
been
Is
burned.
it, I mean, again, going back to Ask the Experts yesterday, is it a 40-60, 60-40? That's completely
And
different
understand what
things.
those numbers mean.
Right.
Because we kept getting a lot of it reversed. People were talking about 60-40s when they really meant a 40-60. A 40-60 split, the drivers get 40% of the load, less fuel surcharge and tolls. The fleet owner gets 60% of the load, including fuel surcharge and tolls. In a 60-40 split, the drivers get 60%. The drivers also pay for fuel. They get the fuel surcharge. The fleet gets the 40%. So there's a big difference there, and want to make sure we get that right.
How about the maintenance program? What kind of maintenance are fleets doing on their trucks?
Sure.
Is it? Do they have a program? Are you required to do it every so many 100,000 miles, so many hours on your APU?
Are they indeed maintaining their trucks properly?
Yeah.
It's a good question. It's a good question. And that being said, there are certain things that the best fleet owners in the world can't catch because they've done their due diligence and the truck goes on the road and 50 miles later blows a hose.
It's a mechanical device.
It's happened, and it's something that you just can't catch every single time.
Right,
So.
right.
Melissa, I have a question for you.
Sure.
When you're doing your research, when you're looking for something, where do you start? Do you start on Google? Do you go to social media? What do you think is a good suggestion for because dirt rises to the top. If there's bad information about any company, you're going to find it more easy than you can find the good information.
Sure.
So where would you feel most comfortable looking?
I think,
or what different areas would you look at?
I think I would do definitely social media. I mean, I think you could do Google. Yeah, sure, maybe you can read some reviews. But I think I would, for me, I think there's a lot of public Facebook groups out there. If you're on Facebook, if you're not on Facebook, create a Facebook. It doesn't have to be because you want to socialite with other people, but create one. Maybe join some of the groups. I know there's some trucking pages. For us, we've got one called Panther Drivers Lounge. And ask your questions within there. Get people's feedback. Be very specific, though, on what your question is. Don't be generic. Hey, who's a great fleet owner? Okay, that's too generic. Get more specific. What do you want to know? Hey, is there a fleet owner that does 40-60? And then as people start making comments, maybe send them a private message. Hey, I have some follow-up questions. Can we take this, in a private chat? And ask them. Even ask them, do you have someone else I can chat with? A fellow driver that you know about? And just really dig deep into your questions, but make sure you have questions. You can't ask generic. Generic's not going to happen. I don't know how many times I'm in groups and people just are so generic, and then the next 12 questions are, be more specific. What is your real question? So on and so forth. So just really get deep with your questions. Don't be afraid to send people private messages. And just, like you said, dig a little deeper. Do they have friends? That's a good one, the person you're chatting with, do they have multiple friends or are they a fake account? Those are kind of things if you're looking at reviews. Ask if the owner's available maybe to speak with. I don't know if all owners, a maintenance person, if you have questions about how they maintain the trucks. Ask if they have a mentor program. I think that's super big here at Highfield. We offer the mentor program. But for me, I'd want to know, okay, what kind of mentor program do you have? Here at Highfield, it's a one-on-one case. You're going to get a team, or I think in your case, I know you and Don, you do drive together, but I think you're primarily the mentor.
Yes.
Does Don field any calls ever?
No.
Okay, so
Check us out at 604 to find out how you can win a 7-night cruise.
Ooh, 7-night cruise. I gotta go sign up for that. I'll be back.
So for Jerry and Don, Jerry's a primary at all times. For Vince and I, and maybe some of the other mentors, we take our driving shift. Doesn't mean you can't call either one of us. But ask, is it one-on-one, or when I call, am I going to get 5 different people and I have to rehash my story every time? Because I don't think I would want that. I want to only talk with one person. So just really ask your questions. Social media, I really think, is a big help. If I was going to do Google, maybe look at who people are reviewing. See if you can't. I think you can reply on Google's, can't you? Ask questions on Google reviews.
You can, yes.
Maybe even do that. So I think that's how I would go about doing my research. Vince and I have been very transparent in all of our videos. We didn't do our research. We went with the first truck fleet owner out there, and the reason we went is because they did offer a mentor program, and that piqued our interest. Looking back now, we probably should have done some more due diligence. It's what we teach now.
I think we've gotten lucky that we did find Highfield.
Lucky,
it's
yeah.
a fit for us.
Right.
We could have gone with. I asked you, Frank, to not get into that, Jerry Frank battle, Expedite Boogie, Tucking Couple battle. I mean, I got you both here. I thought we were going to do this peacefully, but
we can switch. I can read comments. You can get Frank over here.
You get Frank over here. Yeah,
No,
exactly.
we gotta get rid of him if anybody. Bring in another girl, and like.
Oh, now where are you
Go
going?
get Kelly. Let's sit Kelly down here.
Or the McDonald's.
Yeah.
You can go if you want to, too. I can just.
So, does Highfield, Raylene Marsh, hi Raylene. Raylene Marsh wants to know, does Highfield Trucking have an affiliation with the CDL school?
Oh, I think that's a great question.
I thought so too.
I'm going to say no. I've not heard of anything.
I have not heard of anything.
I think that's, again, on you. You have to do some research of what's a good school. I mean, I could give you one in the Portland, Oregon area. Again, maybe that's something that you do on. I'm just going to throw Facebook out there. On those groups, ask people, hey, I live in Tennessee, around this area. Where'd y'all go to school? So,
another site I would probably recommend would be expeditersonline.com.
Oh, I always forget about that. Thank you so very much.
That is how
That's why
I
you're in the
learned.
seat.
So everybody, this is Kelly McDonald.
You're on live with
Hi, everybody.
Luke Shire Expediting Adventure fans.
Deer in headlights.
So we're trying to get the ladies in here because like that gets in. And Kelly was a mentor for a long time also.
Yes.
So she has a lot of, and we were just talking about the CDL training and stuff like that.
Can you ask that last question? Because Kelly
Sure.
might have that answer much better
Kelly,
than. But Expediter
Raylene
Online is a
Marsh
great.
wants to know, does Highfield have an affiliation with a CDL school?
Not directly. We have sent our information to a lot of CDL trucking schools through recruiting, through Delina, but we don't exactly have an affiliation because there's so many different states. So it would matter state to state.
Right.
And depending on what kind of license you want to get and whether they even offer it. So most trucking schools basically will offer the CDLA more than B.
Right.
So if you only want to go in for a B, then that eliminates quite a few.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a good answer. And Jerry said Expediters Online might be able to.
Yeah.
That's where you went through?
I actually started doing research there. That's how I found out about straight trucks and the whole expediting community. Unfortunately, the first owner I chose, it didn't work out. 3 months, no pay. But, that's part of doing your research. I did the wrong research. So.
What's a good question about that? Just follow up. What's a good question about when you ask a fleet owner about pay structure? How would you present that? Like, who would you ask? Would you ask those other drivers maybe that you talk to? Or is it direct deposit? How am I getting paid? How often are you paying?
Yeah, definitely those are common questions that you should be asking. And I think once you find out how they pay, the 60-40 or 40-60, talk to other drivers and find out. Are they ever late? Are they ever not direct depositing or sending you a check or whatever they're doing? That very first person I drove forward promised me the world and back. Promised, to do this to the truck, and unfortunately things just didn't work out, and I got burned on that. So I had to return the truck and drop it off and move on. And luckily, I did my research, and then the next owner I found was much, much better. So I think it's part of the growing pains, but if you do really, really good research in the beginning, you should be able to find out most of those answers from other drivers or the owner themselves.
Sure.
I will say this about Raylene's question. even if you Google, and I have the link, but I don't have it off the top of my head.
I did mention Expedite Chicks, though. You guys
Yes.
did a video and you added
And there's
some links.
that link. Literally, you put your zip code in.
Uh-huh.
It's a government site, and it will then give you a list once you put your zip code in and the city and state that you want.
Uh-huh.
It literally will list every trucking school that is affiliated or has been approved by the government to teach the class.
So you're
to
non-scammers.
get- Correct.
God.
And
good,
there's
good, good.
and it literally gives you a map view, gives you the list on the side. You can click on them, go directly to their website, and it explains the process.
Logistics. Make your way over to booth 407 for the Panther raffle of one very nice Arctic cooler. We'll see you there.
Camo Mojo Transportation wants to know how much of a challenge has it been obtaining parts to keep your trucks operating in the current supply chain environment?
Some parts have been extremely difficult to get.
I've heard.
That's a Jimmy question, honestly, but there have been, I don't know the specific name, CPC, there's been a few parts that have been on back order for, some are indefinite, some we've waited for parts for
No
up to
ETA.
26 weeks. Yeah, exactly. So, windshields are a problem right now, even too, you are correct. Yeah. Sadly.
Yeah.
The trucking couple wants to know, how did you pick Highfield, Jerry?
He's pleading the fifth.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like you're just trying to say, I'm not answering that.
You know, a lot of people who watch my channel know it's no secret that Frank from the trucking couple attacked me, stalked me in many, many ways to come over to Highfield. I'm so happy that that happened, but he did. It's all his fault. I'm thankful that he did. Very, very thankful. I would not be anywhere else. I did a whole video on Highfield and how I would never work for any other trucking company out there. I have no problem voicing my opinion on that, but it was all Frank that brought me here. Everybody knows Frank is the man. He is the one. He is the only. It is Frank that got me
Cut.
here.
All right, that's enough. My head's gonna explode against
You
anything.
can use my nifty little panther ball to hit him.
That's funny.
Oh.
That's
Now you
funny.
understand the why. Okay.
Yeah.
That's like, okay, so great content. Raylene, Jerry, great information about how to prepare, because the wait when you start out, pay starts approximately 3 weeks later.
Yes.
So there's that little lag time
Yeah.
of wait. You know what? We're gonna swap Kelly out. We're gonna bring Jimmy in. Jimmy, you're being called. We have a Jimmy question. So we're gonna swap out one McDonald for another.
All right.
McDonald.
I think he's going to bring in the Jays next.
Yeah. Go ahead and sit down. Everybody, I'd like to introduce to you. Would you like to introduce him?
This is, well, Jimmy Mac. That's what I call him. Jimmy McDonald. He is, wow, they're getting a little rowdy over yonder. Somebody just won something.
He's our maintenance manager.
He's our maintenance manager, and he would be able to probably piggytail or piggyback on the back of what Kelly said about
Parts. So Camo Mojo Transportation, Jimmy says, how much of a challenge has it been obtaining parts to keep your trucks operating in the current supply chain environment?
cameras over here.
Basically, ICUs, ECUs, any computer-related equipment. What's she making?
Just keep talking.
Water pumps. There's certain parts that are on national back order. A lot of Thermo King parts if you have a refurb unit. And there's really nothing you can do except wait.
Wait.
Yep. All you can do is wait. Don't try to get anything off Amazon. If they say 5 in stock, they don't. You'll be on a national back order list and as well. So.
Wow.
Yeah. It's.
How does that affect teams? Do they have downtime?
Oh yes, they do. Yep. Depending on what the part is, some things you can run without it, but anything obviously engine computer related you can't. Safety related you can't. So yeah, it's definitely been a challenge, but it seems to there's certain parts that 6 months ago were hard to get that are okay that you can get them now, and now new parts that are in the
Hard to
national
get.
back order chain.
Sure,
now, so, yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. So be prepared.
Right.
Save your money.
Exactly.
You might be broke down. Not always is there another truck to swap into. Maybe your fleet's not that big. So
Yeah, and
be
that
prepared
adds
for a
up
rainy
in an
day.
issue. I mean, that happened with me. You know, we had a DEF parts kit. I was down for 6 weeks. I was able to fly to Columbus, get another truck, and because the truck couldn't leave where it was at.
Sure.
But
And not
no.
every fleet owner has extra trucks maybe for you to move
Right.
into.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah. Wow.
Well, we're gonna swap out
Both of them, I
Jerry and Jimmy.
All right,
Thank
back
you
to
for being
work.
on our videos, both
Yes,
of
thank you.
We're
Anytime.
Thank
gonna
you.
bring in the J's for you, Mel.
What am I asking? Oh dear, they've got
We're
deer
gonna-
in the
and we're gonna
headlights
switch
look like
moderator,
Kelly.
Too. We're gonna bring in Vince as the moderator.
Come on over, girl.
Hello.
All right. I don't know which microphone we're going with.
Doesn't matter,
Okay.
just talk.
That's
Same one, it's
it.
all
Camera's
one
over here.
Okay.
This is one of our Mentee teams, Vince and I. This is Caroline and Andrew. They are on the Panthers side.
Whoop, whoop. Hi.
How long have y'all been with us here at Highfield?
It's been 8 months now. We
Do you
started
love
in
it?
November.
Do you
Yes.
love it?
We love it.
They came from the tractor trailer world. What's the biggest challenge that you found in the beginning, coming from tractor trailer over to straight truck?
I think switching mindset from counting miles to counting dollars. Because
talking about that.
I kept asking Vince how many miles you're making, and he was like, "You have a wrong question. Don't ask that. Pay attention to different things." So I think that one. What about you?
Revenue versus miles.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest one.
And of course, driving
Driving.
itself, truck itself. I mean, it's a little bit different. Some
Driving of
things
the
are
truck?
easier, some things are a little bit harder, yeah. But
Do you have problems backing the straight truck up? I know Vince still tries to look at mirrors for the trailer, and we don't have a trailer.
probably more like turning.
Yeah.
You have to watch your radius.
Right.
To not hit like on a back on the side to swap like something. But
Or I was like turning too wide as a
Yeah.
tractor trailer, and he was like, not that wide. I'm like, okay, next time I'll do better. So yeah, that was a challenge too.
What's one of your favorite things since you've been on doing the Expediter, the smaller straight truck? You guys are you travelers? Do you like to get out of the truck? I know you said you like parking. It's easier to find
Yeah.
parking as opposed to a tractor trailer.
Exactly. For me, it's like less headache if we go to the shipper, if we go parking, to know that I can do that without his help, without anybody's help, basically, most of the time.
Right.
So for me, it's a huge relief. I love it about it.
Nice. Good. Have you enjoyed Expedite Expo this year? This is your first time here?
Yeah, it's our first time. I didn't expect so many people and so many companies, so for me it was a blast. Especially last night, the casino night and after party with the Highfield, to see how everyone is, we saw everybody like try to follow on Instagram or YouTube, and to see real people, it was super nice.
Nice.
Actually,
Nice.
to feel a part of Highfield family, it's amazing.
I mean, it's on here. It's on this
like
wall.
here,
I know.
everywhere.
Well, yeah, y'all are sporting it.
Yeah.
So, well, good. You got any questions for me?
How do you like it so far?
How do I like it? I love the networking part. I mean, we're all from both carriers, FedEx and Panther. We're all over the United States. So to be able to come together, and I mean, we're all not here, right? Our fleet's really big, but to all come together and to have a common purpose, which is to still network, to share your journeys, maybe how freight's going, tips and tricks. I mean, I've heard one person say, I didn't know I could do this with that, on the truck. So just truck parts, or better areas or good areas. It's just networking, and the networking part is what I absolutely love. And not just with Highfield, there's other people that might come over and you talk, and it's networking. The networking is really,
I would
really
say
love.
inspiration as well.
Ooh.
Especially like you see about people who are successful or different. They had different approach to their career, to their trucking history. So for me, it's also inspiring.
Yeah.
And
And
learning. Yeah.
We've got some teams. We have some teams that have been doing this for 7 years, 10 years. I mean, here at Highfield, but yeah, I think it is. That's all I got. You got a question?
We don't have any questions for them from our viewers.
Oh, well, I
We're
think
still
we should
young,
wrap it
and-
up.
yeah.
I think we should wrap it up. What do you think?
I think we should too.
All right. Well,
Andrew, Caroline, thank you for
yes.
hopping on with us.
Thanks for
Appreciate
hopping
it.
on. Keep rocking it out
keep
there.
rocking it, yeah.
Don't leave money on the table, as Vince
Don't
would
leave money
say.
on the table.
So,
Thank you all for watching. We
do you
appreciate
want to
it.
say that? You're over there. Vince is
They
now
can hear me.
moderating.
They can hear me.
Oh, good.
Thank you all for watching. We appreciate it. Give us that thumbs up, that like, tell a friend about our channel. We really appreciate that as well.
If you're here at Expo today, if you're actually here, they're
You got
doing.
about 40 minutes to stop by and see us.
Yes, I think we're doing giveaways here at the Highfield booth, but there's also a barbecue that's happening, I heard, at 4:15. So if you're actually here on Saturday, July 16th, at the Allen War Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne, Indiana, there's a barbecue happening here. So, all right, with that, bye!
Bye.